let me tell you something that's going to change everything you think you know about attraction. Right now, there's a woman you're thinking about. Maybe she barely notices you. Maybe she sees you as just a friend. Maybe she's polite, distant, keeping you at arm's length while her eyes light up for someone else. And it's driving you absolutely insane, isn't it? You're wondering what he has that you don't. What secret he knows that you're missing. Here's the truth, and I need you to really hear this. Attraction isn't something that just happens to women. It's something that's triggered, deliberately, psychologically. And once you understand the invisible buttons in a woman's mind, the ones she doesn't even know exist, you can go from being completely invisible to absolutely irresistible. I'm Dr. Elina, and I've spent 15 years studying female psychology, desire, and what actually makes a woman's heart race when she sees a man. Not what society says, not what romantic comedies taught you, but what actually happens in her brain, in her body, when she feels that pull she can't explain. Today, I'm going to share 5 psychological triggers that bypass her logical mind and speak directly to her primal instincts. And fair warning, once you learn these, you can't unlearn them. You'll see attraction differently forever. So if you're ready to stop being overlooked and start being the man she can't stop thinking about, keep watching. This is going to get very interesting. Here's where most men destroy their chances before they even begin. They make themselves too available, too eager, too present, and nothing, and I mean nothing, kills desire faster than abundance without effort. Listen closely. A woman's brain is wired to value what feels rare, what feels exclusive, what feels like it might slip away. This isn't manipulation. This is evolutionary psychology. For thousands of years, women had to choose mates who were desired by others, who had options, who had value in the eyes of the tribe. That instinct didn't disappear just because we have smartphones now. It's hardwired into her attraction system. So what does this mean for you? It means you need to stop acting like she's your only option, even if she is. Stop responding to her texts within 30 seconds. Stop canceling your plans the moment she's available. Stop giving her all your attention while she gives you breadcrumbs. I know this feels counterintuitive. You think showing her how much you care will make her care back. But here's the psychological reality. When you're always available, her brain categorizes you as low value. Not because you are, but because scarcity signals desirability. When she texts you, and you don't respond for 3 hours, because you're genuinely busy living your life, something shifts in her mind. Suddenly she's wondering, what's he doing? Who's he with? That curiosity, that slight anxiety, that's the beginning of desire. You need to become the prize, not the pursuer. And I'm not talking about playing games. I'm talking about genuinely building a life so compelling that her presence in it is a bonus, not the entire foundation. When she realizes that other women notice you, that you have standards, that you're not desperately waiting for her to validate your existence, that's when something primal awakens in her. She starts to chase. She starts to wonder if she's good enough for you. And that psychological shift, that reversal, is where real desire begins. Now let's talk about something that sounds dangerous, but is absolutely crucial: unpredictability. Most men become boring because they're too consistent, too safe, too readable. And while stability is important for long-term relationships, it does absolutely nothing for the initial spark of desire. A woman's brain craves emotional variety. It's drawn to the unknown, the mysterious, the man she can't quite figure out. This is because unpredictability triggers the same neurological response as excitement, anticipation, even danger. Her dopamine levels spike. Her heart rate increases. And her brain interprets these physiological signals as attraction. So how do you create this without being chaotic or unstable? You become a paradox. You're confident but not arrogant. You're interested but not needy. You're warm one moment, challenging the next. You give her your full attention when you're together, then you pull back and focus on your mission. This creates what psychologists call intermittent reinforcement, the most powerful behavior conditioning mechanism that exists. It's the same principle that makes gambling addictive. The reward isn't guaranteed, so her brain becomes obsessed with earning it. Here's what this looks like in practice. You have an amazing conversation with her, real connection, vulnerability, depth. Then you end it first. You're the one who says, "I've got to go." You don't text her the next day explaining yourself or asking if she had fun. You let her sit with the experience, wondering when she'll feel that way again. Then, when she least expects it, you send her a message that's thoughtful, specific, showing you were actually paying attention. Her nervous system lights up. He remembered. He was thinking about me. But again, you don't overdo it. You don't flood her with attention. You give her just enough to keep her leaning forward, reaching for more. This isn't about being cold. It's about creating emotional rhythm, peaks and valleys that keep her feelings activated. Because a woman who feels everything all at once, who's constantly wondering what's next with you, is a woman who's falling into desire. This one is going to sound almost too simple, but it's devastatingly effective. Women want what other women want. This isn't shallow. This isn't a character flaw. This is sophisticated evolutionary psychology called mate choice copying. When a woman sees that other women find you attractive, desirable, worthy of attention, her brain automatically upgrades your value. She thinks, if they see something in him, maybe I'm missing something. This is why the same man who gets ignored when he's alone suddenly becomes interesting when he's surrounded by female friends. Why a wedding ring mysteriously makes a man more attractive. Why women are more interested in men who are already in relationships. Their brain is using social information to assess your value, and the validation of other women is the strongest signal available. So how do you ethically leverage this? First, build genuine friendships with women, not as a strategy, but as a practice. When the woman you're interested in sees you laughing comfortably with other women, hugging them, being at ease in female company, something shifts. She sees you as safe, socially intelligent, and pre-approved. Second, don't hide your past or your options. If other women compliment you, appreciate you, reach out to you, don't pretend it doesn't happen. Don't brag about it, but don't hide it either. Casual mentions, natural confidence. Yeah, my friend Sarah always says I overthink things. Simple, subtle, effective. Third, and this is critical, Make sure you're actually living a life where you interact with multiple women. Join social groups. Take classes. Be visible in communities. Because when she checks your social media and sees you're not desperately isolated, when she notices other women commenting on your posts, liking your photos, her attraction mechanisms activate. She starts competing, even if she doesn't realize it. She starts thinking, I need to get his attention before someone else does. And just like that, you've gone from being invisible to being a challenge. From being an option to being a choice she's afraid to lose. Social proof doesn't just increase your value. It makes her desire you urgently, instinctively, before logic even enters the equation. Let's go deeper now into something most men completely misunderstand: masculine presence. Women don't just want a man who looks good or says the right things. They want a man who feels like a man, who embodies a certain energy that makes them feel safe, feminine, and alive. This isn't about muscles or money, though those don't hurt. This is about something far more primal. It's about how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you move through the world. Masculine presence is about being grounded when everything around you is chaos. It's about making decisions confidently without second-guessing yourself. It's about staying calm when she's emotional, not because you don't care, but because you're her rock, her anchor. Women are attracted to men who have a centered, unshakable quality. Why? Because feminine energy is fluid, emotional, adaptive. And it craves masculine energy that's solid, directed, purposeful. When you walk into a room and you're not seeking validation, not looking around nervously, not trying to impress anyone, she notices. When you speak and there's no hesitation, no apology in your voice, no need to fill silence with nervous chatter, she feels it. When you touch her, even casually, a hand on her lower back, guiding her through a door, and there's intention and awareness in that touch. Her body responds before her mind can analyze it. This is presence. And it's developed through practices most men ignore: lifting weights, martial arts, meditation, time in nature. Doing hard things that require you to face fear and discomfort. These activities literally change your neurology, your hormonal profile, your energy. They make you more present, more grounded, more certain. And when you combine this with emotional intelligence, when you can hold space for her feelings without trying to fix them or being overwhelmed by them, when you can be strong and soft simultaneously, you become intoxicating. She doesn't just desire you mentally. She desires you cellularly. Her body relaxes around you. Her femininity emerges. And she becomes addicted to how she feels in your presence now. Here's the element that takes everything to the next levels: strategic vulnerability. Notice I said strategic, not constant. Most men make one of two mistakes. They're either completely closed off, never sharing anything real, becoming emotionally unavailable, or they overshare immediately, dumping their insecurities and traumas on her before she's invested. Both kill attraction. But strategic vulnerability, revealing yourself in calculated moments after you've established your value, creates a bond that's almost impossible to break. Here's why this works on a deep psychological level. When a strong man, a man who seems to have it together, chooses to let his guard down specifically with her, she feels special, chosen. She thinks, He doesn't show this to everyone. He trusts me with this. That creates intimacy, and intimacy creates desire. But timing is everything. You don't lead with vulnerability. You don't apologize for existing. You establish yourself as confident, scarce, socially valuable. Grounded in your masculine presence first. Then, when the moment is right, when you're having a real conversation, you share something true. A fear, a dream, a moment from your past that shaped you. And you share it without neediness, without looking for her to fix you or validate you, just offering her a glimpse beneath the surface. Her brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. She starts seeing you as three-dimensional, complex, real. And women don't just desire bodies or status. They desire depth. They desire the feeling of being let into a world no one else sees. This is how you go from being attractive to being unforgettable. Because she's not just drawn to what you are. She's drawn to who you are when the armor comes off. And when you balance strength with selective vulnerability, confidence with authentic humanity, mystery with moments of raw truth, you create an emotional experience she's never had with anyone else. She doesn't just desire you. She becomes territorial, protective, deeply, almost irrationally attached. Because you've given her something rare. A man who's both powerful and real, so let's bring this all together. You now understand the 5 psychological triggers that make a woman desire you. Scarcity, becoming the prize she has to chase. Emotional unpredictability, keeping her nervous system alive and engaged. Social proof, letting other women validate your value first. Masculine presence, embodying the grounded energy she craves. And strategic vulnerability, showing her the real man beneath the confidence. These aren't tricks. These aren't manipulations. These are the actual mechanisms of female desire. The psychology that's been operating in her subconscious long before she even met you. And when you apply these principles, when you genuinely become this man, you don't just get her attention. You get her obsession. But here's what I need you to do right now. Don't just watch this and forget it. Pick one principle. Start applying it today and watch what happens. If this resonated with you. If you want to go even deeper into the psychology of attraction and desire, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Drop a comment telling me which principle hit you hardest. And remember, you're not trying to trick her into wanting you. You're becoming the man she can't help but desire. Now go become him.